'Cause when you're there with me, I can always believe. Come with me and take my hand. I wanna see if you understand. So follow me if you can. We'll fly through the night. It'll be alright in the starlight. Tell you where to go when nobody knows. Now we're so close. Galaxies. Now you've taken my breath away. No oxygen in outer space. So tell me then you're gonna stay. Galaxies, wanderlust through debris, stardust. Think of me, of us. We'll fly through the night. It'll be alright in the starlight. Tell you where to go when nobody knows. Now we're so
Yeah. Unknown Brain. Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
I know that I gotta stay away from all your games. Yeah, I know that I found somebody else to love me one day.
My life is lovely now, I'm focused on me. You said you were about to die, I guess the car is on E. But see, I ain't even tripping, cause I just chose to believe that somebody gon' come around and give me just what I need. I don't wanna see you finding, see you looking down and out. Coming to me crying, saying you miss having me around. Gave you chances and you blew it, you so easily influenced. All the times you told me beat it, now you gotta face the music. I'm saying
I know that I gotta stay away from all your games, and I know that I found somebody else to love me one day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. No, you did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye. So now I gotta say
At times I find myself inside my head. I'm daydreaming about my life instead. Like, where am I gonna go and who will I be? There's so much I wanna know, so much to see. Nothing ever stays the same. I don't know if I have changed, but all I know is I can be whoever I wanna be. Will I love who I became? Oh, am I gonna love who I'm not? does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
Hello, Snail. You can join the call if you want. I figured it out. So yeah, ow. My headphone. How's the weather in Hong Kong? Weather report of the day. Well, it's stuffy. It's foggy outside. Sometimes chilly, sometimes really hot. Oh yeah, take your time. No problem. It's up to you, totally. And what else? I don't know, it's just foggy outside, I can't see shit. Well, I can see something, like the building right next to me and right opposite of this house. Everything's still outside, like there's no wind. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Now, which reference should I take? These two are together. These here.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Hello, Snail.
Am I coming through clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Nice.
Clear.
Alrighty. It's nice to talk to you. I guess you could say, I mean, this isn't in person at all, but better than messaging.
Yeah. Is it better than messaging?
Oh yeah, I prefer it a lot more.
How's your day?
My day was really busy, but today is the start of spring break, so I'll have the next 10 days off.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Well, quote unquote off. I still have my dual enrollment chemistry to do, and I still have an entire English course to do.
English course?
Yeah.
Like,
you need 4 years of English to advance at to graduate at my school. I've only taken 2 years, including the class I'm taking this year. That would only be 3, so I have to take an extra one. So that one's going online.
Okay. Is it like a standard thing, or is it just for your school?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean standard versus
Like,
school?
is it like a thing that everybody have to do for every school, or is it just individual school
Oh no,
setting system like that?
that's just my system. Most
Oh.
people don't even take any extra classes.
Oh, okay.
So how was your day? How have you been?
Well, my day just started. I woke up just an hour ago, I guess.
Just an hour ago.
Yeah, it's like 10 here now. So,
Did you wake up to roosters? Did you wake up to an alarm clock? Did you wake up to your family? What was that like?
well, alarm clock. I had like 5 or 6 alarm clock on my phone, which like it just start ringing every like 5 minutes, so I don't get back to sleep.
That's really good. I recently had to implement something similar because out of nowhere, it started this semester, I think. I would set an alarm to wake myself up in the morning, and then I would just kind of groggily get up, and it would be like 10 minutes before school starts. I'm like, what was I doing? And it turns out, in my sleep, I reached over, unlocked my phone, turned off the alarm, and then went back to bed. I didn't remember any of it. I was like, oh, it must just be a glitch with my phone. That's what I thought at first. After a couple more times of that happening, I'm like, wait, no, this isn't a glitch. So now I have 3 different alarms. Yeah, so I just have 3 different alarms. So if I end up subconsciously disabling one, I have 2 more.
Mhm.
That's been working a lot better.
That happens a few times to me too.
Never used to happen to me before.
Oh,
I was so confused. Like, this is the second time in a row my alarm clock hasn't gone off.
That's funny.
How's your project progressing?
Well, so it's progressing, but I think I should pick up my pace.
That's
Yeah.
understandable.
Even my assistant's like, she's already graduated already, so she starts finding a job, and now she has a job, and she don't have much time to work on my project, and there's some delays happening, but that's understandable.
Oh, that's understandable. That's kind of tough.
Yeah. I just have to like pick some more tricky shots for her to do. So,
Hmm. Understandable. But I mean, the world moves at its own pace, you know. So I don't know. That's a portion of the reason why I'm trying to graduate early. Everyone's already ahead. I kid you not. I might have already told you this, but at the internship that I went to before Stanford for cardiothoracic surgery, it's at UCLA. One of the interns, like most of them were med students, right?
Yeah.
One of the interns was 13 years old. He was in 8th grade.
Oh yeah, you told me.
So I mean, I'm having middle schoolers already right on my level. So I'm like, okay, I need to pick up the pace just a little bit.
Yeah, that situation happens a lot in the quote unquote art community. Like on Instagram, there's like so much young artists just so much better than you, and you just have to learn to accept that.
Yeah, I understand that. Just learn to move on. Appreciate the skills that you have.
Right.
I mean, look on the bright side though. Anything that you can draw is just about 10 times better I can draw.
Well, you can't like compare it like that, because we're not even in the same field. So
I mean, that's true, but there's still a lot of people going into medicine that can draw. Like, fairly well.
yeah. I've heard of stories of like artists attending like like kind of like life drawing classes where they just go out and draw animals and living creatures, and there's a couple of like medical students there just drawing so much better in detail than they are.
The super broken thing about going to college as a pre-med is you don't really have to, it doesn't matter what you major in. As long as you get all your prerequisite classes down and you score well on the MCAT, they'll let you into a good med school. One of my mentors for med school, and it was actually the founder of the previous internship, was talking to me, and he said that he had a student who was an art major, just went to college, majored in art, got into Harvard Med School.
Okay. Maybe they
So-
just changed their mind like midway.
Like that's what they wanted to do. They just wanted to learn art. They wanted to draw. So they got all their prerequisite classes out of the way, got a couple publications, and then boom, they spent the rest of the time drawing in their rooms, and they got into Harvard. I don't know. It's like even people who aren't, laser focused on one thing still manage to do it better than I can.
Yeah, a couple of artists that I follow on Instagram, like definitely younger than me, they're like, I think a few of them also like study in medical field, like as a major thing, like perhaps their parents just want them to study those subjects, but yeah, they draw so much better.
I don't know. It's tough to get around, but I find that when you make friends with them, things usually go better.
Yeah.
They teach you a lot.
And you understand a lot more about their background.
I mean, their take and their approaches are always just so much more different that you can substitute their method of learning
Right.
with your own method of learning, and then you see results almost immediately. I don't know if that's the same in art. Obviously, everyone has their own
Definitely, yeah.
style, and
Well, yeah, but yeah, the curve of learning just differs among people.
yeah, for sure. So, how long have you been thinking about being an animator? Like, what was the point that you're like, I'm going to be an animator and I'm going to pursue this? How long ago do you think that was?
Well, actually, like since like I'm a child, I have an idea of like doing art for a living, but like for the longest time, I kid you not, I thought of being a interior designer just because I don't know, maybe I just like going to IKEA to like walk around and look at furniture. I don't know what I was thinking, and then and then until like like final year of high school, and then I just suddenly like there's a exhibition in Hong Kong, like a Pixar exhibition, and I went to it because like we had a thing like we have to go to a lot of exhibitions and events to like kind of like build up points for getting into university. Like it's like extracurriculum thing, and I went to that exhibition and somehow I got my spark there, and I just alright, cartoon seems fun.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And actually, a lot
Interesting.
of cartoons that people watch as a kid, I didn't really watch it until then, so I just catch up from behind, I guess.
So you were just kind of blind to it at first, and then when you discovered it, you found that you really liked it.
Well, there's like
Okay,
anime shows like playing on TV when I was small, but like that doesn't give me an idea until like the Pixar thing I don't like.
okay. Pixar was pretty great.
Yeah, I think I just like their like storytelling skills, because usually people get into art because they think like pictures are pretty and I want to draw like that. But the reason I want to go to like major in animation is because I like stories, I guess. I like how people tell stories. I'm a story person. Like whenever I watch like anime or just animation in general with my classmates, they they like do the whoa face every time some really great visual come out, and I just focus on the story.
I mean, that's understandable. The story is obviously going to be the wheelhouse of your animation. I think you were talking a little bit earlier in one of our previous messages that you could still animate fairly decently and get awards, even if it just features like stick people.
Oh yeah. Sure.
That's interesting.
And actually, I think.
So first step.
Oh, yeah.
No, continue. Sorry.
Go on. No, you first.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
First step, you graduate from university. What's the first thing you think you're gonna do, or career wise?
Well, what I planned is to. Well, of course, if there's like job opportunity, I'm gonna like submit my portfolio to those studios and just test my luck. And at the meantime, I'll just keep practicing and try to improve my skills.
All right.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good way to look at it.
Yeah, that's not too that's not a common practice that people do, because well, we need money. Like get a job.
Oh yeah.
And usually
You make sure everything you do is.
Yeah, people usually don't have the luxury to just practice, but I mean, I'm kind of stubborn person and I don't like doing normal jobs that I don't like doing. So
I can understand.
yeah.
I mean, depending on where you're going, you might not even have to do all that. A lot of my classmates were bragging about how much they made over the summer just working at a fast food restaurant. It's like, I got through one semester and this college sent me a check, which was enough to pay off my tuition that semester and a little bit more. So, I mean, just no applications necessary. They just sent it right in. So, I mean, brains over brawn, whatever. Point is, there are things you can do. Obviously, I talked to some other people that are in college, and I asked how they made money. They said their parents paid off their college for the most part. They had friends that were selling NFTs. I don't suggest doing that. I mean, I guess they're making good money off of it though. Some of them were making NFTs. Some of them were doing like part-time contracts because they were in software engineering. One of my friends in high school already got his license, and it's called SolidWorks. It's a CAD program that engineers use to design and model prototypes. So he's already licensed in that.
So it's like product design?
Yeah, kind of. Coming up with ideas, designs, mechanisms. I don't know. They didn't go into much depth. I'm not super involved in that aspect of engineering, CAD.
Oh, I remember what I want to say just now. I didn't really pick up art until like the high school year when I decided to do animation. Well, before I know how to draw. Well, let's say I'm good at copying things, like sketching, but copying real life stuff. But I never have like officially learned how to draw, except like I think acrylic. No, not acrylic. Oil painting. I've learned oil painting, and that's decent. But like, I never learned the fundamentals of things, so I just know how to copy things essentially. And until high school year, I have a visual art course that I took. No. It's like, well, let's say in our public exam, you can like choose some extra subjects to get a little bit more points than other people. So I took a visual arts thing. So I thought it would like be easier for me to get into animation, so I took it. But then it's been a long time since I actually draw, and I was very rusty back then. And I just, well, luckily I had a friend who's really good at drawing, and for the whole year he's just teaching me how to draw as if I never drawn before.
Interesting. Well, I mean, you did say that you were more into the story aspect, and you said that you feel like you do really good organizing people.
Well, yeah.
So maybe eventually you could become a director.
Yeah, I think it would be like easier for me to be a director than actually well, animation. I'm good at animating, but not like concept artist or like positions that requires really good drawing skills. I think I'm not like doing those probably.
Well, I think that I'm sorry to keep circling back to the Blender propaganda, but but I feel like when you eventually transfer and start learning it, I feel like once you start, getting the hang of it and how it works, I think you'd actually go pretty far with it. There's a lot more you can do with Blender than you can with a bunch of lines. Well, Blender is a bunch of lines, but point is, I feel like the stuff that you can make with it's a lot better, and you don't need to be very artistic to do something nice with Blender.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
like
3D software, so it's much easier to like get into it.
I mean, there's a very steep learning curve with Blender. If you go online, there are like billions of Blender tutorials because it's just so hard to learn. But once you get the technical aspect figured out, you can do just about anything you want. I mean, you're not good at modeling characters, or you don't have any artistic ability. Well, don't even worry about it, because there are add-ons that'll give you pre-made characters. Just figuring out the technical stuff, that's really tricky.
Yeah. Well, for 3D, it's usually like often even like the technical aspect is what you actually have to learn more than how to make things, I guess. Like when you get to basic, you can basically make anything you want.
Pretty much. Now, of course, there does come a point where, depending on what you're trying to make, there is some base level of artistic talent needed, but for the most part, there's a lot that can be achieved even if you're not an artist.
Right.
But you do have a pretty decent amount of skills already in art and animation, so you'll get right over that.
Yeah, and I guess like what my professor said, student teach our school usually teach like Maya more than like Blender because like Maya is
Yeah,
the hardest one. And,
industry.
yeah, and if you learn Maya, you'll be easier to get into other softwares also. So
For sure.
yeah, I should get into Blender quite easily in the future when I learn it. But yeah, after this project, everything's after this project.
That's understandable.
Like there's so much things that I want to do, but this project just halts every single idea.
Man, I feel you. That's basically how it's been. How long now? Since I'd say the beginning of 2020, it's been kind of like that.
Why is that? Do you have like some major projects going on?
Yeah, it's just a lot of school.
Mm-hmm.
I think that with my current system, the best I've got, like the best that I've ever gotten, was something like how much was that? That was like every Saturday. Only on Saturdays I would have completely off. Everything else is just work from sunlight to sundown.
What do you do on Saturday then? Just chill at home, watching TV?
Man, that's always the grand question. How can I best use that time?
Well,
Usually
relaxing is also a kind of use of time.
that's true. That's true. For the most part, though, I just find myself playing video games.
Understandable. What kind of video games?
Oh, I play a couple different. I like tower defense. I like FPS games. Sometimes I play indie games. Just depends on how quickly I get through the story and how much the next one costs. Yeah, that's about as far as I could go with that. Kind of limited.
Not really limited. It's, at least you have a wider palette than I do. Like, I'm not really a gamer, but I know a lot about video games just because I watch gameplays.
Oh, hey, you're saying that's usually what you do? You just watch the game. You just watch them.
Yeah. Just watching, as if like I'm watching a movie, I guess.
It's understandable. I mean, it's a good way to assess if you should buy a game or not, in my opinion. I'm trying to find something here, but I can't find it. Oh, here, I found it. Give me a second. I think I made this for a project at school. Sent it to you on Discord. Yep, I'll DM it to you. Check out my pyramid.
Oh. Oh wow.
I made the whole landscape as well. The whole thing is procedural.
It's pretty nice.
I didn't make this guy though. I photoshopped this guy in.
Well, it's just a plane of blue, so it doesn't really matter.
Now, the grain of sand is really inconsistent with the bricks, and the bricks are all overlapping. But I mean, that was all simulations that I used to make that. Every brick, surprisingly, is a particle.
Oh, really?
So I didn't even model any of those.
I think it's like a setting thing, isn't it?
Can you repeat that? Something about settings?
I think because you set, I'm not sure how that works, but I think the reason is like acting as a simulation thing is because maybe it presets the bricks as some like collision objects, like when people do VFX of explosion scenes and those bricks aren't used.
Oh yeah. I think I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I couldn't find a way around that. Like, you can directly program your own scripts into Blender to get past problems like that, but I wasn't going to take the time to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know Python, and it would have taken me way too long to learn that. And that was for a project that I had due in 2 days.
Definitely.
It wasn't worth it.
Definitely, I hate programming so much.
Programming is okay in small circles, but I need to have time for it.
I don't have the brain power to even understand those things.
It's all good.
It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Maybe I was. I don't know.
Wait, what?
I didn't show up on the stream anymore.
You didn't show up on stream?
Yeah, I kind of just disappeared. And I looked down at my phone and it showed that I wasn't even in the call anymore.
Oh, really?
I'm guessing my connection might have timed out or something.
That's weird. Still in the call though.
Yeah, it's all good though. Okay. Do you think in the future animation is going to look different than it does now, as far as all the tools you use in your workflow?
Feature animation, like, do you count like Netflix features?
Not exactly. I mean, it's like the method that you use to do animation. You think it's going to stay the same? I mean, obviously, grease pencil is already kind of a new thing. I'm wondering if you'll get more.
Oh, you're talking about that. Well, it is changing. Like if you count Netflix too, because they're pushing new things. Like especially these few years. Well, first of all, I think like feature animation is definitely trying to imitate the Spider-Verse movie, like more and more. As you can see from the Mitchell vs. Machine movie. I don't know if you've watched that, but yeah, that movie is kind of like heavily inspired by Spider-Verse movie. They do like 3D and then 2D on top. So I guess the trend of like feature animation is just following this kind of formula, because it seems that movie that does that now are all very successful. So they're definitely following that trend, and definitely if they like if the presentation method has changed, then definitely they'll try to explore more tools to make that happen. So I'm not surprised that they use they even use the grease pencil function in Blender. Yeah. Because now I think like the Spider-Verse movie do like they do that kind of like effects, like by drawing on top. Like they finish the 3D and then I guess they use Photoshop to frame by frame draw on top of those models to like create that kind of feel to it.
Interesting. Now, from what I see, animation is a very long process because you have to keep drawing out every single frame.
Oh, for sure.
Now, I know some AI is able to kind of bridge gaps between frames, so you don't need to draw as many now than you did. But do you think that there's more efficient ways to animate that are coming up, or do you think it's always going to be draw, redraw, redraw, like stop motion?
Well, the AI stuff that you mentioned is, I guess, is still in the testing stage, because you can definitely see some kind of like flaws in those recreations. Like there's like, what are those called? Like after image, because AI basically, the AI that does that basically just try to fill in the gaps between frames, and usually it just looks weird and distorted in a way. But what's the question again? Sorry, I forgot.
I was just asking how technology is going to change animation in the future, like how you do it, if it's going to be more efficient.
Well, yeah, the AI, I think the AI thing would definitely improve, and even just in the very distant future, perhaps even take over the jobs of in-between animators. But in terms of efficiency, if we reach that point, probably like in the most efficient way, most of animators just become like directors essentially, because they just need to well, there's directors and then key post animators, and the in-betweens are all given to AIs. So animators will need to draw much less things, I guess. And yeah, it's just a matter of how much they're gonna draw.
Got it.
Yeah, like even like cartoons nowadays, they use a program called Toon Boom, which is essentially a program that, let's say the program is really famous for their rigging function. Like you can create a character, rig it, and then you can just move it around like 3D, but it's 2D, and that saves studios a lot of time. So most of the cartoons nowadays are done in Toon Boom because of that reason.
Is Toon Boom really expensive?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's really expensive, I guess. And I guess they change it into a subscription function. Not a function, like subscription thing, rather than a one-off purchase, which sucks. But yeah.
Huh.
Wow, I can literally feel the computer just wanting to retire at this point. It's getting very laggy. I think this project is just a computer killer. Like I was chatting with my classmates, like always on our Discord server, and even their computer is starting to glitch out or something.
Is it your computer or is it a computer given to you by your school?
Oh, it's my computer. The school is not generous enough to give away computer. They're very how do I say this? They're very strict with their resources, let's say.
Understandable. Yeah, I can see that. Is my typing too loud?
Are you typing too loud? No, I can't even hear you typing.
Okay. Because I'm using a keyboard that I got complaints in the past that was too loud, people could hear.
Oh, really? I hear nothing actually.
Alright, that's nice.
Oh shoot, what the fuck just happened? What did I cook? Shoot. What did I do? Oh, there we go. Jeez. That was an anxious experience.
What just happened?
I don't know what I do, but like some of the layers just got deleted and I can't undo. I just closed the program and opened the file again, and thankfully things are back.
That's really scary.
I don't know what I do.
Does your program autosave?
Yeah, every 15 minutes, I think. And they have
Okay.
backup files.
Okay, that's really good. I was about to say, if that something ended up happening to that and you didn't have a backup, that would have been really bad. But I mean, you've been doing this for a while, so you probably gotten hold of that a long time ago.
Well, this is the first time that this happens actually, so I don't know what happened. I was so anxious for a second.
I know we kind of already touched on this topic, and we kind of just didn't really take anywhere. But how are you considering making money after you get out of college?
What does that mean? Like,
Like once you graduate, how do you think, or what's your plan for making money at first? There's a chance that you're not going to land the first job that you apply for. Actually, I take it back, you will. But
no.
theoretically, if you didn't.
Well, I'm gonna keep practicing, try to improve my skills. Like, at least I have like a year to do that, I think. And then if nothing goes well, then I'll go back to YouTube. Like, I mean, like, doing my own animation and then posting on YouTube. And yeah,
That'd be pretty
using that
epic.
backup plan.
I think you might be able to get somewhere if you did that. If you make something really good,
Oh,
it'll gain traction really fast.
oh yeah. Some animator actually just focus on making their own animations on and posting on YouTube, and
Huh.
they just earn money from like Patreon and stuff like that.
Interesting. I was gonna say, if you can get your content monetized, you can get quite a bit off of ad revenue once you get enough views.
Oh yeah,
Plus, if you get sponsors, that's where the real dough comes in.
yeah.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah.
You know you've reached the top of the line once you get the Raid Shadow Legends.
So funny we said that at the same time, like from my side.
It just really shows how ingrained Raid has become with the amount of people that sponsor.
Yeah.
Or in second place, you got NordVPN.
Oh right. Yeah.
I think in third place, you have Honey.
Right. Honey.
Then in fourth place, you have Raycon. Those are the most frequent sponsorships I see.
I've heard from like a YouTuber. Have you heard of like Tom Scott?
Oh yeah, I know Tom Scott.
No, Tom Scott, like SKA. Tom
Oh
Scott,
no, I haven't heard of him.
the guy who made like the Estive movie series.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's been like doing NordVPN. Is it? No, it's not NordVPN. Hold on, it's like a shark VPN thing. What's that called? Surfshark.
Huh.
Surfshark.
Surfshark. Oh, I heard a Surfshark too. I forgot about that. Yeah, that totally exists.
He's been doing quite a lot of like Surfshark ad, and then he specifically did a video talking about that because he feel like Surfshark doesn't have a standard for how you're gonna present the ad. Like, he can do literally any edgy things that he could think of, and Surfshark's gonna approve that. And I guess, well, in a good way, it gives you a lot of like creative freedom for the ads, and
It's true.
but like the bad side is like, what's the limit for those? Because like Tom Scott put in like murder things, some really over the line things in the ads, but they still got approved.
Wow.
That's just a fun.
I mean, that might be a first option then.
Well, I'm not a kind of person who do like edgy stuff essentially.
I mean, say you could probably get something with Surfshark
Alright.
if they're that easy, or I would say easy, if they're that accessible. Hold on, I'm gonna try something real quick and you have to tell me if it works.
Okay.
I'm changing out because I was using earbuds before, but I'm gonna use my headphones because earbuds aren't comfortable.
It doesn't sound much different to me.
Or I haven't connected it yet. Hold on.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's somehow clearer than
Nice. I can kind of hear myself, but that's okay. Hopefully, you don't hear my keyboard now.
Did you hear a keyboard with the previous option?
I repeat that.
Do you like hear your own keyboard with like headphone or earbuds? What you just used previously?
The interesting thing is that everything I say, like whatever's going on in my end, is coming through my headphones as well. So I'm hearing myself through my headphones, not like my headphones are playing my voice every time I talk. And I was just typing on my keyboard, and I heard my headphones projecting the sound of the keyboard. And I was wondering if it was getting through. So I can hear my mouse clicking too. It's so interesting.
I can actually hear some background noises from your end.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I just shifted my chair. That's probably why.
Well, I should probably ask you this right from the beginning, but how do you feel actually speaking on a stream that not really people are watching?
I don't really mind it. Again, you're right. Not a lot of people are watching. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. Obviously, people are asking any technical questions. You're going to be the one to answer them. I don't know. I hope I'm not scaring away any viewers, at the very least.
No. In fact, I think I saw like 1 or 2 views just popping up and then popping out occasionally.
Maybe it was Ivan. You should go get him to tell a joke.
I don't think he's like awake yet.
Doesn't matter. You should just ask him. He'll by instinct say it while he's asleep. Like the subconscious part of his brain is gonna pick it up and it's going to automatically recite to you a joke. That's just how hardwired Ivan is to tell jokes.
Maybe we'll check on him at least. I'll just wake him up because it's like 11. I should have been awake. Just wait a second.
Do you guys usually stay up late?
I've changed my habit to like sleep latest around 12 because
Okay.
in the past I sleep really late, like 3, and yeah, I just changed my habit, so now I sleep much earlier, and I have a kind of deal with Ivan that whenever I sleep, you'll have to be the one who's going to sleep next. So he shouldn't be sleeping that late, I think, if he actually abide by the contract that we've made.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll go check on
You guys have a system like that.
Well, it's a, how do I say that? It's a one-off thing, I guess, because he's now having a public exam and he should have some kind of at least like restriction to how he should be scheduling his time. And coincidentally, like a while back, he discovered a game that a streamer that he was watching was playing, and he wanted me to get that game for him, and I got that game for him, and then I made that deal with him that I got you this game, but now you have to follow these rules. Deal, and then deal. So here's how it happened.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll go check on him now.
Not a bad idea.
Falling faster than before, searching here for something more, but I don't wanna think about it, 'cause I don't wanna live without this. I'm feeling alone, feeling alone, feeling like I'm not losing hope. When everything's said and done, no way, holding on to your warm embrace, feeling the rush going in new ways, hoping you come back just to
Well, turns out.
He died? Oh, that's tragic.
What?
Oh, nothing?
What tragic?
Nothing?
Turn. Oh. Okay. I just remember what you just said. I realized what you just said. Anyways, he said he just had a anxious dream of him getting late to his public exam.
That's a really bad dream.
He just refused to tell me any joke.
Well, what do you mean he refused to tell you a joke? Keep drilling, you'll get one out of him eventually.
Refused. I can't get him to say anything.
Alright, that's fine. Give him 10 minutes. We'll ask it again. So you think that by the time you graduate, you'll be back on campus, or do you think that you're going to be working from home until the very last day?
Oh, that's a really, really hard question that even I can't answer. Like, it's, I mean, hold on. I mean, like, me and my classmates have been asking our professors non-stop of like when our deadline would be, how's the school gonna like take care of this, and even they can't give us answers. And yeah, like even for the deadline thing, they said they still haven't decided a final deadline for us, and we're like, what do you mean? It's just like there's only 2 months left and you can't give us an official deadline? Not even a official email about that. So we're like, just follow our original plan and just don't expect anything from them. But
Let's hope that if they end up
yeah.
changing the date, they push it out rather than cut it earlier.
Yeah. Well, because my professors keep repeating, like, they really hope to get us to graduate on time, because, like, they think some of our classmates would have, like, they would want to graduate earlier rather than working more on this film, because like different people have different like agenda of their own, and they just want to avoid extending the deadline for too long. Yeah, and the school still haven't decided itself for the arrangement for the rest of the semester. They just said all class will be on online mode and that's it. So yeah. So of course I hope to go back to campus. Like
That would be nice.
time. Yeah. Well, some of my stuff is still in that room.
Oh, they won't let you go there to take it back?
They're arranging for like pickup of like for just pickup and copying files, but I actually want like at least a period by the end to like stay in that room. Not actually work, but at least like hang out with my classmates. Like at least
yeah.
a while.
I was about to say that at the very least they should at least give you the option to come in, or they should at least mail all your stuff back to you.
Well, they will definitely not mail things out, because well, Hong Kong is small and we can just take a bus
Oh.
ourselves to pick up the things.
That's true. That's true.
And also the school's cheap, so they won't spend any more expense on that.
Most universities are like that. I literally just found a video saved to my phone. It's called Top 1000 Cheese. It's a video it's an hour and 40 minutes long
What?
that literally has 1,000 different rankings of cheese. I don't remember where I got it from.
It's an app or is it just a video?
It's just a video.
Oh, it's like a video saved in your phone.
Yeah. It's just called Top 1000 Cheese.
That's funny.
Galaxies apart, but I feel you in the dark. Your voice inside my heart, and I wonder where you are. I've always been so skeptical, the life I live so cynical. Now I see the world unfold before my eyes. You're the only reason why. I wanna wake up one more day, 'cause I know you will always stay with me. Your love is what I crave. Because of you, I found my destiny. Destiny. I found my destiny. Because of you, I found my destiny. Always so unsure, then you opened up your doors. I thought I knew it all, till you showed me so much more. I've always been so skeptical, the life I live so cynical. Now I see the world unfold before my eyes. You're the only reason why. I wanna wake up one more day, 'cause I know you will always stay with me. Your love is what I crave. Because of you, I found my destiny. Destiny. I found my destiny. Because of you, I found my destiny.
Oh no.
What?
I need to send this to you.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back.
Alright, I sent you a video.
What was that? What? I don't know why I keep. It's a 3-second video, but I keep pressing on the replay button. I don't know why.
I don't know why this guy is doing that. That looks like such a bad idea.
Yeah.
But if you pause it just before he hits the ground, it looks like he's doing some kind. I don't know. He just looks like he's levitating. So weird. Your guess is as good as mine. I think I was on some TV show or something. It was for the Discovery Channel. They were trying to test something. I don't know what they were trying to test, but this guy just jumped off a roof and he tried to land on that exercising ball and he missed.
It's on TV?
Yeah, I think it's on the Discovery Channel.
I thought it's like some kind of like internet video, just like somebody filmed it of their friend getting trolled.
I mean, it's a little bit of both if you think about it.
Right.
You've been a little different lately. Hope my feelings didn't push you away. Starting to feel a little bit crazy. Starting to get just a little afraid that I went too far and you're not on the same page. That I showed my cards and now you're trying to walk away. I'm doing all that I can to show you who I am. Am I just a friend? Cause this love is feeling one-sided. Whoa, one-sided. Oh, whoa, one-sided. Oh, one-sided. Oh, whoa, one-sided. Don't hold back, just be honest with me. Cause I don't wanna waste any more time. It's the least that you could give me. Just look me in the eyes and tell me it's straight that I went too far and you're not on the same page. That I showed my cards and now you're trying to walk away. I'm doing all that I can to show you who I am. Am I just a friend? Cause this love is feeling one-sided. Whoa, one-sided. Oh, whoa, one-sided. I'm doing all that I can to show you who I am. Am I just a friend? Cause this love is feeling one-sided. I'm doing all that I can to show you who I am. Am I just a friend? Cause this love is feeling one-sided. One-sided. One-sided.
Cut ties, don't want another heartbreak. I can tell that this one is breaking me down, down, breaking me down. So I back up and leave in a hurry. One place too long, so worries me now, now, worries me now. Yeah, I know my way around heartache. I felt what it does to my heart rate. I've seen what it does to my body. Breaking it down again. There's no pain that feels quite like
Rachel, what the f-
haunts me like a breath.
How'd you see that?
I fear the empty silence now.
What was that?
Oh, that's my brother.
Oh,
Could be hurt again. Pack up and leave in a hurry. Could be hurt again. Be hurt again. 'Cause when I love just a little,
He's following my cat off.
oh yeah. How's the cat from last time?
The cat is doing well.
Like the stray cats that you mentioned last time.
Oh, the stray cat. No, I haven't even seen him.
Oh.
I'm hoping he found his way. But yeah, I just looked in that direction. There was this black kitten staring right up at me. I'm like, oh, he's so cute. I should let him in because he's right by the door. He'll probably just walk right in. Moment I stand up, it bolts. Like, I didn't even get to the door. I just stood up from my chair and it saw me and it just ran away.
Like, do you live in a place where there's like coyotes around? Because I heard like
Yeah.
there is.
I mean, it's worse than just that. There's also like mountain lions, bears.
Oh wow. Bears in the neighborhood.
Yeah, bears. In the neighborhood. Like, it looks like just a normal suburb and you just see a bear running right across the street. Now, you don't see bears very often, but you see a lot of deer. Deer are extremely common. You see them every day. They eat people's bushes and plants.
What? I just heard they eat people.
Oh no. They eat people's bushes and plants.
Oh, people's bushes. All right. I thought you.
No, that's a very scary deer. You have a lot of problems if that were true.
That's just Satan himself.
that is, I mean, I don't want to think what would become of the world if deer became carnivorous and had a preference for people.
Yeah.
That would not be a good world to live in.
Yeah.
I would rather live in a world where spiders have wings.
Whoa. That's not a better option. In fact, I think that's the worst.
I mean, bees have wings.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, but bees are not like.
Like wasps.
Oh right, wasps. Wasps are the worst. Like.
I don't know.
If you want a carnivorous deer or flying spider, I would rather have a carnivorous deer because they're bigger. And
Exactly.
they're not
They
that
can. Yeah, they're super fast. They can run way faster than you. They have 4 legs. Hold on. Let me check this real quick. Okay. A deer can run at 31 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
A person can only run 8 miles per hour.
Wow.
I think at like the fastest someone went was something like 20.
You mean a
Hold
human
on.
or a deer?
Yeah. Humans can only, on average, usually go right around 8 miles per hour. Deer can go 31 miles per hour.
Wow.
So I mean that's and they're huge. I mean, you couldn't just punch a deer in the face, and they have antlers too.
It's gonna be like getting hit by a car or something like that.
I mean,
they just grab.
they're so much heavier.
Yeah.
Like after they knock you over, you're done. I would much rather live in a world with flying spiders.
The spiders are small. You can't see them.
Well, you kind of can. I mean,
Well, they're
do you know what the assault rifle is?
yeah.
Or the assault rifle? This is a play on words here. Have you seen the advertisements? I don't know if they have that in Hong Kong. They had it here in the US for a while. Basically, it's like these shotguns, right?
Uh-huh.
But you load it up with salt, and you can just blast any insect with it.
Those things.
Yeah, I feel like that would be your best defense against those spiders.
Yeah.
Besides, spiders can't kill you. Most of them can't anyways. The majority of them can.
Oh really? I
Can't.
thought it's like 50-50.
Oh no, not at all. If you look at the actual percentage of spiders that are dangerous to people, it's super low.
Oh.
I'll get that exact number for you. Less than 0.1%.
10%? Only 10% of them
It's like 0.01%.
are poisonous spiders?
Poisonous enough to harm you.
Oh,
All spiders are technically venomous.
hmm.
I mean, that's how they hunt. If you really think about it, though, spider venom is only for hunting other insects, which are incredibly small. So evolution didn't require them to have as potent venom. Venom's not very good for defending yourself against a predator because it takes time to kick in.
Right.
So they have a whole bunch of other nasty mechanisms for dealing with predators. Like if you were to threaten a tarantula or something, it has these really sharp, like spine-like hairs underneath its belly.
Oh, yeah.
It'll quite literally flick them at you, and it's like getting a bunch of slivers. And the even worse part is that they're barbed, so they stick in your skin. They break when you try to pull them out. So your whole hand will break out into these really nasty hives. It's really bad. So yeah, spiders are bad, but not in the way that you think they're bad.
Okay.
And what's even better is that 0.01% of venomous spiders, they all live in Australia, so you don't need to worry.
It's just
Australia and Madagascar.
just across the sea, the ocean from us.
On that topic, I just switched to YouTube to change my music, and there's a video that said "Wasps, the literal worst." That was one of the titles.
For song?
No, it's like a documentary, quick
Oh.
video. So, how about we try to even the scales a little bit? Would you rather give spiders wings or make all wasps twice as big?
Oh, actually, making them big is a disadvantage to them.
How so?
Because
Would they just make bigger nests, and would their stings be more painful? Plus, they'd be able to fly faster.
when they're bigger, it's easier to kill them. From what I see.
I mean, I can kind of see that. They'd be a little bit slower, I guess, as far as their reaction speed.
Yeah.
They'd also be more armored, and they would require more bug spray to disable.
Do you kill wasps by bug spray?
Usually I just run. I don't stick around. I do remember a long time ago flamethrowering a wasp and a wasp nest. I say flamethrowering. I actually mean that you just get the cigarette lighter and bug spray, and when you take any can with an aerosol and you shoot it over an open flame, it quite literally becomes a flamethrower. So there were a bunch of wasps in my friend's yard. This is a long time ago. I think I was in 8th grade, maybe. I was doing like a backyard camping thing with 2 of my friends. We're all pretty close. We're still in close contact even today. In his yard, there was this big wasp nest, and it was on this tree. There were wasps everywhere. Like you couldn't walk around during the day because there were so many of them. So what we decided to do, I don't remember what the operation was called, but what I remember is we devised a strategy to lure out the wasps and to destroy them, essentially. So basically, there were 2 ways that we did this. One way was the bait method, and the other was the hose method.
The hose?
So, yeah, we sat around and we meticulously planned this out. So, so we identified the trees with the most wasps in them, and we identified that those were the ones that probably had the nest. So if you could get a hose, like you remove the head of the hose and you put like a sprinkler attachment to it, you can knock them out of the tree for a short period of time. If you have like a mist option, you can kind of subdue them while they're in the air because the droplets stick to their wings and it makes them heavy. So they kind of just fall to the ground for a few seconds. So that was the first strategy. Second strategy was a bait strategy. Now, because wasps and pretty much every bee and most insects actually are very attracted to sugar, because that's what sugar and protein are usually the 2 biggest things, especially for wasps. So I think that we got some honey, we got some, like I think it was maple syrup, and we had some soda left over from the night before. We mixed it all together and put it in this bowl. It was this very sticky substance, but it was extremely sweet. And we put it out to see how many wasps it would accumulate over a certain period of time. After like 30 minutes, there were like 40 wasps on that thing, on our wasp bait. We didn't have to do too much to it because it was so sticky. They stuck their faces in it and they got stuck and they just drowned themselves. So there's like this ring around the edges where there were just a bunch of wasps with their faces stuck in the we threw away the bowl. Like we took a stick, we took these tongs or whatever, picked up it was like a paper bowl. We picked up and we just threw it away. I mean, we didn't let that stuff sit out much longer, but it did the job. Anyways, so when we were doing the hose method, my friend Joseph was on hose to knock them down. My friend Kanoa was on bug spray duty. After you knocked the wasp down, you would spray it so it wouldn't get back up. And then I was on the flamethrower duty. You would finish it off by quite literally torching it. Plan worked flawlessly. We only got 1 wasp with it. Oh man. Yeah, we only got 1 wasp with it because it was too dangerous to keep flamethrowering things. But essentially it went something like this. My friend Joseph changed it. He didn't use a sprinkler one. He used a jet. He quite literally directly shot the tree and a bunch of wasps fell out and fell on the ground. Most of them just got back up and crawled away. They didn't even fly. One of them, my friend Kanoa, got with the bug spray. I just remember saying something like, "Prepare to meet your maker," and just I just engulfed it with flames.
That was fun. Sorry. At first when
Prepare to meet your...
Just
Just prepare to meet your maker. I don't know why that was the first thing I said.
At first when you say like bait duty, I thought like as a kid you would just assign a person to be the bait. And I was so confused for a while.
Oh no, no. We wouldn't do that. If you wanted it, oh man, I don't know why I have such a history with wasps. So the flamethrower bait method, that stuff was one instance. A second instance at my school, we called it the wasp tree because there was this singular tree. It had like no leaves on it, but there were clouds of wasps. Like most people stayed away from the playground that was near that. Like there now the schoolyard was organized. There were 3 playgrounds. a sand pit and a big open grassy field. This one was bordering the big grassy field, which was lined with these really small trees. One of them, as I said, had like no leaves, a lot of wasps. No one even went to that playground because there were so many wasps coming from that single tree.
Right.
Now, earlier that morning, we found this massive stick in the landscaping. We called it the cattle prod because it looked kind of like a cattle prod. It was this huge stick. Now, we didn't know what to do with it, so we kind of just stored it in some bushes. Now, we were lucky. My middle school, they gave us recess. During recess, I grabbed the cattle prod, got all my friends around, and I threw it into the tree.
And
Just swarm of wasps. Just like, you know, in those cartoons where the wasps are shown as like this raging black cloud that just kind of uniformly that's what it was. I never ran faster in my life. Just scattered. None of us got stung, but they chased you. They didn't let go. They kept. It was like I was almost to the other side of the schoolyard. They were still chasing.
how did you get away?
Oh no. I don't know. And then I went back and I kicked the tree, of course. Almost got stung. Oh man. Thank goodness I was a fast runner in middle school. Man, why did I do that?
Speak of wasps.
But aside
Yeah.
aside from that though, I'm horrified of wasps. I don't know why I did that.
I have a phobia of like bees in general. So
Same. I mean, all I remember after kicking that tree while I was sprinting away was I was just laughing my butt off. Like, something about that was so amusing to me. Like when they finally stopped chasing me, I couldn't stand because I was laughing so hard. I don't know.
speak of wasp, I think I saw a video, like I think it's like a Twitter video just a few days ago of like, I don't know whether it works on wasps, but it says bees will just stop flying when it gets dark. So there's a person who have like a fish tank, a rectangular cubic fish tank thing. Inside there's a swarm of like bees inside, and then
Oh no.
when they just turn off the light, all the bees just stop flying and all like it looks like they drop dead on the ground. But
Interesting.
yeah.
They just became inert all of a sudden?
What?
Like inert?
Oh yeah.
Not reacting? Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. Do you have any stories involving bees or wasps?
Not really, I guess. I usually stay away from those.
I was about to say, what set off your phobia?
I just don't like the buzzing. Sound is a really sensitive thing to me. Like, I hate buzzing things, including like mosquitoes and flies.
Okay, that's understandable.
bees. Well,
I don't know,
mosquitoes
I'm-
and flies, I just kill them, but bees you can't, because they sting.
That's very true. What's even worse is if it's a wasp and you kill it, it releases, they're called pheromones. It makes every single wasp in the vicinity immediately mad at you.
Oh,
So even if you see a singular wasp that strays from its hive, if you were to hit it with like a fly swatter or something, you bet all his buddies are going to be knocking on your door in a few seconds. And it sticks to you too, because you were in that immediate area. If you step on a wasp, for example, it's on your shoe. Oh, and there are reports that like people have tried jumping into water to avoid them, but the bees just wait for you to surface. Like
that
they
classic
wait.
Bear story.
Yeah, just like that. Man, I don't know. I don't know why I have such a long history with wasps, but it went all the way back to when I was 3 years old. I was in preschool. I was just minding my own business. I think I was just sitting on this grassy hill or something. It was during like the recess time.
Yeah.
I got stung in the ear, just randomly. I got stung in the ear.
You can't hear it? Like, you can hear it coming.
No, I didn't even hear it coming. I just felt this, like, I still remember. It was like my whole right side of my face felt like it was on fire. Good news though I'm not allergic to bees, so I was just fine.
Maybe,
I guess you'll never know.
maybe it's because of that sting that makes all the bees just
Probably.
come to you.
Like any buzzing, I'll agree. Like I'm immediately scared, but that's because I initially interpret it as like a bee that's buzzing.
Yeah.
Like if I hear buzzing and it sounds like it's a bee, I immediately freak out, even if it's just a fly.
Yeah, I get so jumpy whenever I hear something. Like sometimes even electric stuff that gives off the buzzing sound.
Oh yeah.
Just immediately look that direction and then try to figure out what that is.
Yeah, I understand that. Man, I don't know. Insects in general just kind of creep me out.
Yeah, I hate insects.
I mean, in general, if you think about it, they're fairly disgusting, and like fairly disgusting organisms, given their lifestyle and the fact that they literally subsist off of literal rotting organic matter. They oftentimes eat each other. I don't know. They're so disgusting. And even if you just look at a close up of like a mosquito's face, like have you ever seen like an electron microscope image of like a mosquito's face?
Well,
Or like
funny
on the
thing
news when they're
is,
showing it?
very often, because like whenever it's summer, like in the past, there's like government posters all over places of like
Yeah.
a really microscopic view of a mosquito on a
Oh,
person's
that's
skin.
horrifying. That's horrifying.
Who
And,
made
I mean-
that idea to put that up?
I mean, like flies are no different. They're horrifying if you look at them really close up.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Insects are just
Worse. The,
they have those like they have those like jointed legs. Oh,
well, that I don't mind actually.
you don't mind like the spiny, jointed, hairy legs?
The hairiness of it, I mind, but not the jointed aspect of it. I find that kind of.
I mean,
Not
like I'm.
cool, but like kind of robotic in a way. I don't know.
Oh, I understand what you're talking about because I think crabs and shrimps are pretty cool, and I used to pick them up and hold them all the time. Like I don't get the same feeling with crustaceans as I do with just insects,
Yeah.
even though they're very similar.
Right. Isn't there a saying that crustaceans are just insects of the sea?
Oh yeah, there's a comedian that was just making fun of people who like eating seafood and shellfish. He's like, they're just underwater bugs. I might have to send that to you. It's really funny.
Well, the only insects that I could tolerate is mantis and butterflies.
Oh, praying mantises are pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a few times there's a praying mantis in my house. I don't know how it got up here. It's like because I live in apartments that are really high up, like close to
Interesting.
close to the 20th floor, and there's just mantis in the kitchen. And for a few times that happens, and I just look at it from a side.
I've only seen a praying mantis a couple times in my life, just out in nature. But it was really cool when I did see them. They're pretty neat.
Yeah.
Try to think of For me, butterflies are kind of freaky too. Like, have you seen like a close up of their face and that massive proboscis that they have?
Oh yeah, yeah. At first,
I
I
mean,
don't like butterflies too, but I don't know since when I start to appreciate their wings more, not their actual body.
okay, I can agree. The wings are pretty, but I can't, I just can't take their bodies.
Understandable.
And they go through all these different life stages, going from these
Larva.
yeah, larvae. Oh, it's so gross. Like fly maggots are the worst. Like the absolute worst. I mean, the only good thing about insects, they're good for the food chain. How about that?
Yeah.
They're good for the food chain. Pure protein, you know?
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
Gosh, yesterday I was watching like the newest video of do you know the channel Good Mythical Morning?
Oh, I can't say that I do.
Like Red and Link. It's kind of big YouTube channel. And anyways, they usually do like taste test stuff, and they have tried like really nice food and then really gross food, and they were ranking good and bad food for the past 3 days. And yesterday was the episode of ranking the worst food they have ever eaten. And the easiest thing that they could take in is a mealworm donut.
Oh,
That's the easiest thing they could
I can't
digest.
even.
But
Oh
for
my
me,
god,
watching
that
that just makes
exists?
me like curled up.
Oh,
That's the hardest thing
Can't-
to watch.
I couldn't even imagine touching that with my bare hands, more or less eating it.
I don't think they're like available outside of that studio because they have a like personal chef that just make weird stuff like that.
Oh my god, I'm picturing that right now, and I'm feeling so
And
disgusted.
they're alive and slithering around, and they got legs.
What? They're alive?
Yeah.
They're alive? They're
Yeah.
okay. I crossed the line. I thought that they were dead. I thought
Yeah,
they were
I thought
cooked.
that too until I saw them moving.
Oh my god.
And it's the first time I saw like worms having tiny legs. I thought they just slither around, and they got.
To be fair, mealworms are technically beta larvae, so they do have
Oh,
really tiny legs. But oh my god. I mean, Jesus, it's disgusting.
that's
They're
the-
alive.
That's the easiest thing
They
to
were-
take in, and
I
that's the
can't
hardest
imagine
thing.
how you could get worse from that.
Oh,
I
the
mean,
worst thing
the
that
only
they,
thing.
the worst thing that they eat is like solid pork blood taco. They just
Oh my god. Where do you
vomit
even?
right away.
Where does that even? Where does that idea even come from?
I don't know.
What is their chef on?
Well, the chef is. I appreciate the chef for his creativity, because he made really tasty stuff as well as really gross stuff that are all
Okay.
unconventional, that you can't find in any restaurant, I think.
Like, I feel like you just search up r/cursed food, and that's everything you've described. I think this one guy made mac and cheese, but instead of using milk, he used Pepto Bismol.
Oh,
And it was this pink pasta this guy was eating. It was, oh my god. Oh my god. I don't want to think about this anymore.
let's change the subject. No more insects.
No more insects, no more Pepto Bismol. Oh my god, that's so awful. I couldn't think of a worse thing. So let's get to something a little bit better. How about we talk politics? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Silence. Just no more words.
No more
No more words after that.
I only give reply depends on what question you ask on that matter.
Oh. Have you played any sports in your life?
Sports, yeah, in like, well, we call secondary school, but like middle school and high school. Or yeah, I played. Well, actually, I played basketball when I was in primary school, like elementary school, and
Oh, really?
for moments I don't know, perhaps it's like, I don't know how I got in basically, but I was in the school team basketball, like the
Wow.
basketball school team, and of course I'm not good at it, so I'm just the standby players.
It seems you and I are in the same boat,
And
or at least we're.
yeah.
Continue.
And yeah, just secondary school I played badminton, and I think I was kind of good at it. Yeah, but
That's interesting. I've only played that a couple times. I couldn't hit it past the net more than 3 times.
Yeah, that's what happened to me like when I was really small. So when you get a hang of it, it's kind of alright.
Man, that reminds me of the last time I played tennis. It was actually at my AAMS internship. The one wasn't at UCLA. It was supposed to be there, but they shut down the campus. They relocated somewhere in Hawaii.
Oh,
Basically at the hotel we stayed at, which was the hotel where everything took place. Our lectures, our labs, everything took place. They rented these big rooms, and apparently they had all the storage equipment. They needed to keep all the stuff, all the hearts from decaying and whatever. Anyways, they had a tennis court there. And on the last day, but it was super hot there. Like, you couldn't go outside without going straight to the water. Otherwise, you just immediately burn up. But it was the last day. All my friends were like, you know what we should do? We should just try giving tennis a shot, just once. Now, I think only one of us has actually had base level experience with tennis. That had to have been like the most interesting experience ever, because not only was it super hot, but I ran out of clothes until that point, so I was stuck with these super loose jeans. So one of my hands used one of my hands to hold up my pants while I ran, then the other one to hit with the tennis racket. But it was like scorching outside. It was like 1,000 degrees, and I had jeans on, so I was just so sweaty. And I managed to sit out there for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Just 2 hours. We could only hit the ball back and forth 2 or 3 times before we ended up hitting it too hard and it went out of the court, or it just went straight into the net, or we just missed. Like, none of us could do tennis, but I don't know why we played that for so long in that heat.
I thought you would be getting a stroke, like he stroked for that long.
I mean, there were trees that provided shade, so you just kind of rotate. You go in there until you felt just cool enough, then you go back in. Anyways, but yeah, I had a similar experience in middle school. I don't play any sports now. Last sport I played was my sophomore year. That was swimming. I stuck with swimming since I was in kindergarten. That was my go-to sport. But I did try track and soccer when I was in middle school. I did well in track, actually. I got first place in the mile on one of the races. I did not do well in soccer. I did not do well in soccer, though. Again, I was that standby guy. I was only put in when everyone else was so tired that they just needed that one last guy. But at the very last game, by the way, I went to a gifted school. It was called Aurora Quest. Everyone there was nerds. No one had a single athletic bone in their body. Even the kids that were the most athletic and kids that love sports were still really bad. So we lost every single game we literally lost every single game of that season. We didn't even score our first goal until like our 5th game. Like that's how bad the team was. But in the end, I made a name for myself because on the very last day, I finally got a hold of the ball. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what got into me. I had some like what is that, like pro soccer spirit just possessed me for a span of 5 seconds. I took the ball, and even though I was pinned against the right side, I managed to juke the ball around like 5 kids. And then I passed it to my friends, and from that point forward, I was known as the kid that juked out West, because West was the school that we were playing soccer against. But yeah, aside from that, I just kind of sat on the sidelines and watched.
Well, I went to a gifted school too, because like it's like the top school in Hong Kong, like at secondary
Epic.
and primary, they're like related. So I just got in yeah, and people there are not like half of them are nerds and half of them are really good at sports. So I thought that goes to see pretty good.
Interesting. So you guys had a blend.
I guess like the school meticulously what's that called? Like taking students that are good in both things, so they could look better in terms of like every aspect of skill sets. Like
Just checking through all their capabilities, skills,
yeah, there's like,
talents, I guess you could say.
there's like an inter-school competition every year, and our school is like always like neck to neck to another school for the top place. I think it's just a way for the school to get a name for itself, like sports and stuff.
Huh. My school never got any awards in sports. It got it in academics, though. They've maintained the top 1 highest test score in my state for years now. Even after I left, they're still keeping it up. Which kind of sucks, because I don't do well on tests. Everyone else around me is getting an SAT of like 1540. Like 1400s, like 1300s didn't even study, didn't even come prepared, and my best I think was like an 1170.
I can feel you. You definitely feel
Man, I just can't do this SAT. It has this 60 questions worth of English right in the beginning. You have to read these like I can't call them massive, they feel massive passages. And then you have to answer like 15 questions for each one. And I'm not very good with English, mostly because I just get really bored of it. So I do well on the first, I do well on the second, and I just get so gassed. Like I couldn't hold my eyes open after that. So I'm just putting down answers, and it just goes all down the drain. The ones that I was confident on, I didn't do well. So, I mean, I'm just bad at English, I guess.
Well, as a person whose like first language is Chinese, I'm the worst at Chinese, and I'm always like, well, it's a common thing somehow for my school, because I guess as a top school, it's only natural that the students are good at a foreign language, I guess. But
oh yeah,
it's very common for us to have bad score in Chinese also. And then
oh really?
when I got into college, I'm like playful tease by my classmates of not being a local person. Because some of the term that they use, like even in like daily conversations, I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh no. Oh no. That's tough.
Yeah.
Now, I have a quick question. So you said that Chinese was one of the first languages that you learned to speak. What dialect of Chinese do you speak?
It's called Cantonese.
Cantonese? Okay.
Yeah.
How hard was it to learn English?
For me, it's quite easy actually, because I guess my parents took me to like phonics class from like since when I was a really small kid, I guess. I forgot.
Oh,
what
so you've been
age.
learning English for a long time.
Yeah, and my kindergarten is like called something something English kindergarten. Yeah, I've been interacting
Oh.
with foreign people quite a lot since then.
Oh, that's so lucky that you have that. They don't have that here in the U.S. It's all English. I mean, there are some for Spanish because the U.S. has the second highest Spanish-speaking population in the world.
Right.
But I never heard about it for any other languages. All I know is that my mom tried teaching me both Turkish and English when I was in preschool, and it was going okay, but I was kind of lagging behind in English. So my teacher's like, he can't speak full sentences, he doesn't know all the words, he needs to undergo speech therapy. My mom freaked out, quit teaching me Turkish, and within days I caught up, and I've just been English. So the exact opposite from what you went to. They're like English only.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because most people there are English speaker. And English is like
That's true.
the most spoken language in the world. So
hmm
the standard for that would be like higher.
I think so. It's understandable. You'd imagine that they would at least try to have some elasticity with trying to compensate for learning two languages, or to at least find some way to support it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I still wear that. I still wear the scars of that decision to this day.
What decision? Like
The decision made between my teacher and my parents
Oh.
in preschool. I could be speaking perfectly fluent Turkish right now, but I mean, I have all this school to do. You already know the deal with that.
Mhm.
I don't get a lot of time to practice or study Turkish on the side. I can speak just enough, but not enough.
Do you think it's like a kind of discrimination from like in the US for not integrating other language into the system?
That's a good question. I couldn't say for sure. One of my, I mean, they taught Spanish there. Like they taught us basic words like greetings and stuff like that. So I can't say that, and they always taught us about world cultures. I remember learning about all the cultures of the world. So I can't say I can't say that they discriminated. I think it was a professional decision because I was lagging behind in my studies. And ultimately, it was a suggestion. It wasn't something that they forced my parents to do.
Because I heard of a thing called like systematic racism.
Oh, yeah. Systematic racism is... Now, it's a very interesting topic when you bring it up in the US because, I mean, it was a huge issue before the 2000s. Like, 1960s, any time before the 1980s, really. Even in the 1980s, anything before the 2000s was considered really rough in the U.S.
Yeah.
Even today, depending on, like, you're only going to experience systematic racism in very isolated counties. Like, if you go in the deep south and out of nowhere, after driving through woods for 10 years, you finally come across Farmville with like a population of 200 people, there's going to be systematic racism there. They're all going to be hillbilly farmers. They're all going to be like, hey, partner. Or they're all going to be like, hey, what y'all doing? Like, that's where you're going to experience systematic racism in the U.S. But anywhere else, if you're hiring people, and this is even in college admissions, they actually favor people who are diverse. And it actually became a really big issue at a certain point in time. They put quotas in the U.S. Certain employers and colleges have to accept a certain number of people from different races, and it actually resulted in reverse discrimination. There were still disadvantages simply because they were trying to overcompensate. There was a Supreme Court case over it. It was called Bake versus Stanford. Some guy was trying to get into med school. He had all the test scores, all the grades, all the qualifications, but he couldn't get in. But he knew a lot of other people who were doing much worse than him that did get in. And eventually he filed for reverse discrimination. It turns out that was exactly the case. So, I mean, it's a very interesting topic in the U.S. You don't know.
Because when you mention like farm areas and they just talk like that, like treating you differently,
the southern accent.
That's not really like systematic, isn't it? By systematic, it means like within systems, like education.
Oh yeah. Like for example, if you wanted to go to like the local university in one of these, we'll call them hillbilly towns, they probably wouldn't let you in. Or if you wanted to be like, let's say, a waiter at a diner or something, you'd be severely underpaid. You'd be harshly treated by your managers. You may even be refused employment altogether, strictly on the basis of your race. They're just so isolated. Like you could technically file against them, but no one ever does because it's just so easy to leave those hillbilly towns. Like, I mean, they really don't have any effect on anything. Like, maybe it's literally just like 5 farms put together, and then boom, they build a small school. They have a small courthouse. They have a small everything, and then that's literally just it.
Somehow, when you mention those kind of towns, the first things come to mind is like those cults that exist in those places. Maybe I'm watching too much horror films. But
yeah, I can see where you're going. Just imagine, like, you're driving, you pass a sign that goes into these hillbilly towns, and you immediately hear a banjo playing. Like, that's what it's all about. You see some guy in those jean overalls with a straw hat, like that's what I'm talking about. Mullets, pickup trucks. They really love pickup trucks for some reason. Like, you won't find someone in a hillbilly town that doesn't have a Ford. They love RVs. They practically live in their RVs. It's so crazy how, man, the most stereotypical Southerner that you could possibly think of.
well, does Oregon count as those hillbilly towns?
Now that's a state. So overall, Oregon would not even come close to being a hillbilly town. But in every state, especially in rural areas, you'll just randomly drive through 1 or 2 of them.
Right.
They're really small, really closed off.
Because I got that idea just from Gravity Falls, so just
People kind of make fun of Oregon and a couple other states.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of that. Hold on. Have you seen Top Gear?
Yeah.
So basically, they did a challenge where they spray painted their cars, like talking about like LGBTQ rights. It said NASCAR sucks. NASCAR, like the racing, they said that sucks because everyone from NASCAR comes from Alabama. And like a bunch of other like just random phrases. And oh my god, I have to send you the video. They didn't even make it like a certain number of miles in. People were like throwing rocks at their car and stuff. Hold on. I can find it. Okay. Oh no. Run out of Alabama. Alright, I found it. I'll send it to you on Discord. You can watch it on whenever you have time.
Sure. Probably right
It's
after
the funniest
stream.
it's the funniest thing in the world.
I saw the thumbnail. Man love what? Rules. Something.
Basically the challenge is to put like a phrase or something on someone else's car and see who would get driven out of Alabama first. Oh my god, when you have time you have to watch it. It's hysterical.
But the Top Gear is like a British show.
Yeah, it's a British show, but they came to the US. They put Hillary for president on one of their cars. Which at the time, I think now usually when you go to the South, people are very conservative. They vote for Republicans. Hillary was a Democrat. So with these hardcore conservatives, you might as well have posted like the most offensive phrase that you could ever say. Yeah, when you see the video, you have to tell me what you think about it.
Okay. I'll report back to you next time.
What I feel most is distorted, and I'm just watching it happen to me. Just watching it. What I see most is through a veil of uncertainty. I'm losing touch with reality. I'm numb and afraid. Maybe this is all a dream, and soon I'll wake believing that I am enough. Fighting just to feel I'm human. To exist is so confusing, but I'm not a quitter. I'm holding out for the is losing touch with reality, losing touch with reality.
It's looking really good.
Hmm? Oh, it's
Your
looking-
drawing.
Oh, thank you. I'm just trying to imitate the style, but yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I'll always admit that I'm good at, and that is like imitating stuff. Hello, Ivan.
Joke. You know what to do.
Joke.
Now. Quick. Don't let him get away. Do not let him get away.
Hello.
Get up out of your chair and pursue him if you need to.
What? I know. Come on. Just
Your voice in the stream is too small.
my voice in the stream is too small. Okay. Thank you for giving me this feedback now. At this point. Well, joke. Why not? Just a joke, come on. Just a jokey joke.
Come on. You have to remind him how much he loves jokes and how funny he is.
He said you're a funny guy, so you have to say it. Come on. Come on.
Remind him how much he loves to say jokes.
So he thinks I'm
What?
so he thinks my jokes are excellent.
he picked up an egg and then just say, so Snail thinks my jokes are excellent. That's it.
Oh. I think I was just might have been convenient.
You got egg.
Does he have hard-boiled egg or something?
No, it's like a like what are those called? What's the word? Can't find the word. Like these kind of egg.
Is it like a chicken egg?
Yeah. Like a what are those called?
Fried, scrambled, hard-boiled, raw,
It's not scrambled.
poached. I don't know.
How do you call this kind of egg?
Oh, fried, sunny side up.
Oh right, yeah, right.
Good egg.
Is my voice too small, actually? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I'm not listening to you through the stream. Your voice is coming through just fine. I never really had any problems hearing audio from your stream.
Interesting. Then perhaps it's just my music being too loud, maybe?
No, I thought it was balanced.
Just lower it a little bit.
It's more like his voice is too loud.
What?
It's more like his voice is being too loud.
His voice is being too loud?
Maybe.
Huh.
Wait, I'm being too loud?
Because I can already hear him clearly at a very low volume.
I know that.
Wait, what's going on?
I think your voice is coming through too loud because I didn't adjust the volume in Discord.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Because I'm hearing it just fine. So, yeah. Or perhaps I should just adjust it in Streamlabs, but not here in Discord. I'll probably just finish this two things, and I'll wrap it up for lunch.
Which I should probably go get dinner too.
Oh, right.
More pasta?
Yeah, it's the same pasta.
Huh.
Actually, it was different last week, I think. But I didn't stream last week, so like last Saturday. So
Huh.
you missed the chat.
Oh, I just had the worst idea ever.
What?
So, you know those Asian giant hornets?
Oh yeah. Why?
Basically, you locate Asian giant hornets, right? Or like a nest of them. And then you get the same bowl and you make that bait solution again. That really sugary stuff that I made all the way back in middle school, right?
Yeah.
After that, you dampen the wasp, right? So it can't fly. And really quickly, you grab its back to the point where it can't reach you with its abdomen or its head, so it can't bite you or sting you. Then what you do is holding up the wasp, you just approach people with it. You know how randomly like someone will scare you by like they'd have like a bug in their hand or something, they try to put it on you.
Yeah.
Just do that with a hornet, with the Asian giant hornet.
Jesus Christ.
Horseman feels like you wouldn't have a friend anymore if you did that.
Yeah. Definitely not having any friend anymore. Actually, when did the Ivan saying a joke thing first started?
What's it?
When does the Ivan saying a joke thing started? Like at first?
I think it was. That's a very good question.
How did you come up with that idea?
I don't even know. I think he was in your room or something, and you were just telling me he was shy or something. So I automatically assigned him the role of being the one that's somehow incredibly funny and highly capable of jokes. But I know he doesn't like it, so I keep asking.
I know what you're doing.
He'll open up eventually. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Just part of growing up, I guess.
What kind of pasta do you have for today?
what kind of pasta? I think it's still carbonara with ham and fried egg.
Sounds good. Have you gotten that mac and cheese?
Oh, I really want to eat mac and cheese, but the only place I think
Mac and cheese with bacon bits. You have to have that.
I have had that before in KFC,
And have it again.
and that's the only place I get to eat mac and cheese.
Oh, KFC's not a great
But
fast food chain.
But that's like cheesy and like really cheesy, and really like that.
I guess. You need to come when you're in the States. You'll find a better restaurant.
Yeah,
You're
I
in
expect that.
Colorado, in downtown. There's kind of like this. There's kind of like this restaurant where I forgot what it's called. It's like the Rock something something something. It's like a singular shop. It's not a chain.
Oh,
But essentially, you can order anything on. Well, of course, you can only order anything on their menus. They have a lot of signature dishes, and they have a signature mac and cheese, where basically, like, of course, it's just mac and cheese, and they have bacon bits on it, right?
yeah.
But it's like actual cheese, and it's like baked. It's not like KFC. I don't know how to explain it. Just imagine KFC, except there's like a crunchy outer layer. It's like actual cheese that you can. That's not like cream and bacon.
Oh, I'm getting hungry already. Listening to that.
So when you come out to the U.S., find a good restaurant
Yeah, of course.
that serves signature dishes.
I'll definitely be trying a lot of restaurant stuff, food. Because I know there's a lot of stuff that I haven't tried that are in the US. Well, the
Oh, mac and cheese. Even though it's the most basic dish, there are so many different ways that people make it. It's just so good.
Yeah. Well, the first time that I went to Japan, actually in Tokyo, I surprisingly found a Wendy's, which I've never.
Wendy's.
Yeah, I've never tried Wendy's before. I've only heard of it from like Good Morning, and I tried that, and it's so good. The chocolate.
What did you have?
The hot chocolate though. I forgot what that was, but it's like there's bacon in a burger and something else in there.
Oh, the Baconator.
Oh, I think yeah, something bacon.
Okay.
There's something else. Yeah.
I'll tell you something right now.
Yeah.
Any fast food chain that originates in the U.S. is going to be better in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's just a well-known fact. So when you come to the U.S., try the real Kentucky Fried Chicken. Although I'll say right now, I'm not a big fan of KFC, even in the U.S.
I can tell.
I'd eat just about anything but KFC.
Even McDonald's?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely go to the Golden Arches. Mickey D's is.
Oh no, I mean like
That's the.
yeah. Of course, yeah.
That's the poster restaurant of the U.S. Everyone associates the U.S. with the Big Mac, or at least I'd imagine. Mickey D's, the Golden Arches. Come on.
For a second, I wasn't able to like understand what you mean by Golden Arches, and then oh right, the M.
Yep. There you go. But yeah, get yourself something you could eat when you're here at the U.S. It's good stuff.
For sure.
Just don't go to a Waffle House.
Waffle House?
If you're probably gonna see one in LA, don't go there.
Why? Are they like bad?
Like, Waffle Houses are like, consider it like the crack den of chain restaurants. Like, there's literally a subreddit. I think it's called like r/Waffle House or something. Just to play off of it. A comedian even said in his jokes, like, they always have a homeless guy right by the sign, as if it's by design. and apparently this one Waffle House is completely flooded, like knee-deep water,
Oh,
and they still had employees cooking and serving food. Like people were wading through the water at the Waffle House to get an order, and there were cooks in the back in knee-deep water also cooking.
I've heard of that from a John Green book, I guess. It's called Let It Snow. I don't know. It's like a story of like a Waffle House, people trapped in a Waffle House in a snowstorm or something, and they still keep serving.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Waffle House is a rough place. People get shot there.
Oh really?
I mean, people get food poisoning there. But it's cheap. It's easy. You can find a drug dealer in 2 seconds. I don't know. Just go to Waffle House. You'll find them in LA for sure.
Right.
Also, I suggest that before you eat at a restaurant, you check its ratings. Like right away, that should be your first thing.
Wouldn't
'Cause
the
in the U-
ratings be like fake, like made up?
Ratings could be fake, but depending on where you find them, you can see your risk of food poisoning. Now, usually in the US, regulations are really tight and people have to comply with it. But there are certain restaurants that do go under the radar, so you need to be careful of them.
Okay.
Like Chinese restaurants in the US, they're hit or miss. They're either really good or they're gonna have you sit out for a whole week. Mexican restaurants are like that too.
Oh yeah.
And you'll see an abundance of those. Hold on, what's the figure for that?
I've heard of like people eating from Taco Bell's most likely are gonna get food poisoning.
Don't eat Taco Bell. Don't eat Taco Bell ever. If you go there because friends want to go there, just get the Baja Blast, but don't get anything else.
What's a bar?
Just go there for that. That's a flavor Mountain Dew that used to be exclusive only to Taco Bell. You could only get that flavor Mountain Dew at Taco Bell. No, I've never had it myself, and I think you can get it normally now outside of Taco Bell, but you have to be sentimental.
Is Mountain Dew like carbonated drink?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I should also suggest you don't drink that either. It has like 60, 70 grams of sugar in a single bottle.
Yeah. I don't drink
it's packed with caffeine.
I don't drink carbonated
Okay,
stuff. Yeah. I'm
Alright,
really
then you should be
picky on
solid.
drink.
Basically, there are more Chinese restaurants in the US than every McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and Wendy's combined.
What? Really?
I'm not kidding. Apparently, it's over 45,000.
Wow.
And that was in 2016.
Will the figures change because of the COVID thing? I guess not, because there's not much lockdown in the US, isn't it?
I'm decently sure. Hold on. Long story short, if you find a restaurant you're thinking of, be sure to find some reviews. Just don't do the Google ones. Those ones are usually faked, but there are specific websites you can go to that can give you reliable info.
Oh man.
Plus, there's also the prospect you can go across a couple different websites and just collectively look at the ratings.
Right.
Yeah, never trust the Google ratings. My high school, Chatfield High School, it's rated like like two and a half, 3 stars.
Huh.
And at first I was wondering, why is it so low? When I looked at all the reviews, it was like a bunch of kids, like students, rating the school 0 stars, and they would paste all the lyrics of All Star as their comment. I'm not kidding. That's how they skewed the numbers. I can't say I've ever had pasta where I ate it with an egg.
Well, the egg is just an add-on. It gives it a little
Do you
bit of
eat it
flavor.
with it, or you just eat it on the side?
With it. I usually like just I poke the yolk, and then the stuff just came out like kind of like a sauce, in a way.
Okay. I don't know. I'm too squeamish to eat eggs where the yolk is runny.
Well, I hate when the yolk starts like in my school canteen. They do a thing like put an egg yolk in every meal that they cook, like at the bottom of the plate. So like if you just accidentally poke it and it starts like coming out, and for a while, because you're not fast enough to like catch up to paste, and it just gets solid, like you just get solid yolk at the very bottom of the plate, and
That's not good.
it just makes all the rice noodles sometimes sticky, and
Ooh.
no.
I mean, that's kind of just school food in a nutshell, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even worse here in America. Like the public school food is so bad.
But I've heard like you guys get burgers and pizza for lunch. Is it?
It
high
depends on what school you go to. At my old school, you could get Domino's pizza every single day,
Oh.
but there's a catch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they ordered it from the Domino's. They ordered it like in large quantities,
Yeah.
so the slices were really thin, and
Yeah.
like it had this very cardboardy, dry kind of texture to it.
Oh.
It wasn't very filling. I don't know how to explain it. Have you ever been to like someone's like birthday party or a gathering, and they order a lot of pizza, and because of how much pizza they made, it's like the quality goes down?
I've been to gatherings that orders pizza, but not like to this sense. Like the pizza is dry.
I don't know. Like the width of the slices is really small, and they don't put a lot of sauce on it either. So you eat the whole thing in like 3 bites, and you're still starving. And they charge you extra if you go back for seconds. So it just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, get that.
It was even worse at my middle school. Now, the food they served at my middle school was so bad.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't even do hot dogs. Like, they made a hot dog once. My friend, his name was Kevin. He found this, like, it had this it had like these pink polka dots on it.
What?
It was this brown hot dog, this brown leathery hot dog with this wrinkly skin, with this dry wrinkly skin.
Is it just an
And it had
expired
these-
hot dog?
It had these pink polka dots. When we flipped it over, there was this
gosh.
long green stripe underneath it.
No.
He ate it.
Did the cafeteria just pick it back up from trash can?
I swear they had to have. And they claimed this one day if they made something called orange chicken. Now orange chicken's usually pretty good, right?
Oh.
It didn't even resemble orange chicken. They basically just cut off. They basically just cut up normal white meat, right?
Yeah.
Threw it in water, boiled it, and then put it on your plate. But they put orange food coloring on it, so it was orange chicken. And they
Okay.
served it with these rice noodles, but the ends of the noodles were crunchy.
Oh no.
Public school food is so bad. It gets better in high school though, because they get better quality food, and sometimes they get more stuff that's prepackaged. Like
Right.
it's not stuff that the school cooks. It's stuff that came from somewhere else. Like
Mm.
if you get there early, they have these small cups of cereal. You can just get Cinnamon Toast Crunch and milk and just have that for breakfast. It's
wow.
pretty good.
Wow.
Is the food at your school expensive?
Expensive for like university canteen. It's not really expensive, but on the pricey side, just like $10, 10 Hong Kong dollars, more expensive than what's considered like cheap, I guess.
Mm.
But the price from my high school was really really cheap. It's like almost half a price of the normal meal price. And sometimes
Interesting.
they're pretty decent too, the taste.
All right.
Okay, let's end
That
the
looks really
stream.
good.
Oh,
All right. Well, go get yourself something to eat.
yeah. You
Make
too.
Super Mario and Luigi proud. I know I've said that plenty of times,
Yeah.
but you got the Mario Bros on your side.
Yeah. You're right.
Spaghetti. Maybe while you're eating, you can watch the
Oh yeah. I hope
Top Gear video I sent you.
I hope I don't
That
like.
that'll
spoil
be
things.
something to look forward to.
All right. See you like next week. Maybe if you want to pop in, just pop in. It's all good.
Sure.
Yeah. See you
Well,
next time.
I'll see you next time as well. You take care.
Yeah.
It
You
was
too.
good talking.
Yeah. It was really fun talking. And voice especially. Yeah.
Man, what did we cover? We covered insects.
Yeah,
We
insects.
covered bad food.
Yeah, bad food.
We covered hillbillies.
Oh yeah.
We covered just general career drawing school stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then we covered food, Waffle Houses.
Yeah.
I'd go on to say that this was a pretty productive session. We even got a joke out of Ivan, so
Oh yeah. That's the minimum requirement of a stream.
the minimum requirement. Oh, also we got the weather report too. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
all-
just
it's all
standard
there.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
well, I don't want to hold you.